Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the K-Man 1971 back with my double size 75th anniversary comic book haul. Man, 75 hauls later, here we are. I'm an old school comic book fan, and I came up from the golden age of anniversary issues. So, Marvel Comics back in the day, whether it be the 25th issue, 50th issue, 75th issue, they would always have like a double sized anniversary type of extravaganza type issue. So, in that theme, all of my 25th, my 50th, and now my 75th video have all been in that kind of double-sized anniversary style format, or as best as I can muster anyway. So I have about 50 books to show off this time around, so let's get crack-a-lacking. Starting off with a good old-fashioned run of comic books. I have Wolverine Weapon X #1. These are the variant editions. I think that not incentive based, but just probably like B covers. But I always thought these covers were pretty cool back in the day. I've always wanted to check out this story arc. I picked these up when Wolverine of the new ongoing series came out right before the pandemic closed us all down. So I knew I was going to need something to fill me in. So I ended up picking up this arc. Jason Aaron's one of my favorite Wolverine writers. So and this arc lived up to it. It was really good. So Wolverine Weapon X #1, #2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you're enjoying the current Wolverine story arc, I would suggest picking this up to pass the time with if you haven't read it already. Now, sticking with the theme of awesome covers, Masters of the Universe #1. I want to say this is, what is it, cover C, I think? And this features this really cool wraparound cover that kind of reminds me of the artwork that was featured way back in the day in the little mini comics that were included with the action figures. Going old school once again, but cool stuff. Also includes a preview of Invincible #1. I also have the J. Scott Campbell wraparound cover for this issue also, so really cool stuff for Masters of the Universe fans, in my opinion. My second copy of Spider-Man versus Wolverine #1, just one of those things I had to pick it up because of, it was so cheap. I had to take it home. Mask #1, not really sure why I picked this up. Probably 80s nostalgia, even though I was never a fan of Mask, but once again, super cheap, so I just picked it up. The Hulk, the Incredible Hulk #282, which features the first team up of the Hulk and She-Hulk. My second copy of the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones #1, some copper classic. My second copy of King Conan #1 from 1979. Great stuff, great double-sized premiere issue. Conan #13, also my second copy. There were a lot of second copies in here that I just picked up just based on principle. I mean, if you had, like, for instance, this was like, I think maybe $2 or $3. So if I have an opportunity to pick up an original Barry Windsor Smith illustrated issue of his Conan run for $3, even if I already own a copy, I will pick that up any day of the week. Batman #329 and #340. Nothing really significant about these issues except that these were the first two Batman issues that I ever remember having in my collection when I was a little kid. So flipping through the back issue bins, I don't know, several months ago, and I came across these. They were on my list, but as soon as I saw the covers, I recognized them. So nostalgia is a good part of the hobby. While I was there, I also picked this up. Brave and Bold #159, not an expensive issue. I think it's like maybe a $10 issue on eBay on a good day. But for some reason, this issue was always missing in the Brave and Bold section. I've been actually actively hunting this down in the wild for probably about 2 years now. So pretty happy to pick that up. Teen Titans #46. This is the issue where Duella Dent, a.k.a. Harlequin, ends up joining the Teen Titans. Some cool old school Fantastic Four Bronze Age. Fantastic Four #183. And #218, guest starring Spider-Man. Speaking of Spider-Man, it's been a while since I picked up any some Bronze Age Amazing Spidey, so Amazing Spider-Man number 203 and 225. Keeping on the Bronze Age kick. My second copy of Captain America and Falcon number 164. First appearance of Nightshade. Captain America number 200, anniversary issue. Captain America number 253. Cameo appearance of, what is it, the second or third, what's his name? Union Jack. Whew. Fade in there for a second. And I'm not going to bother opening up the issue to slow the video down, but there is a signature in here from, or signatures rather, from Roger Stern and John Byrne, which I thought was very cool. And also, Captain America number 254, the first full appearance of the second or third Union Jack. And this is also a Mark Jeweller's variant, which I was pretty happy about. I ended up picking up another copy after I found those at another store. This was only like $3, 254. Hey, I was actually looking for this book for probably about a month, and I ended up coming across two of them within the same week, so I had to pick it up. Marvel Spotlight, number 22. This is the first team-up between Ghost Rider and Satana, and they have, Son of Satan and Satana, and it also guest stars a Ghost Rider. A lot of a lot of Bronze Age awesomeness right there. Marvel Spotlight, number 33, which features the first appearance of Devil Slayer, who, his prototype appearance, I forget, but I have the first issue from Atlas Comics. So I have his first prototype appearance, and now I have his first official appearance in Marvel Spotlight. Not that it really matters. He's like a Z-list character. Second copy of Marvel Premiere, number 49. First Falcon solo story. Always a good pickup. I'll always pick that up if I see it out there at a reasonable price. Marvel Premiere, number 54, featuring the first appearance of Clint Eastwood. Josie Wales. Caleb Hammer. Oh, I'm sorry. This character is so original. I saw this on one of those speculation videos a while back, so I figured I saw it for $3. Why not pick it up? And Marvel 2-in-1, number 54, which features the death of Deathlok, and it also features the first appearance of this all-female villainous group, I guess. So, pretty cool. Love picking up all those cheap spec books while you can out there in the wild. Now, moving on to some stuff that I paid a little bit more money for. That was all the usual between $2 and $5 range. Here we have Marvel Super Special. I think it's number 6 or 7, maybe? I'm not sure, but featuring Battlestar Galactica. My second copy of Marvel Super Special number 21, which features the adaptation of the Conan the Barbarian movie, featuring Arnold. And I ended up picking up Dune, Marvel Super Special number 36, adapting the Dune motion picture, which I was not a fan of back in the day, but as a sci-fi fan, I will be checking out the remake once it comes out. It does look pretty cool. So maybe the technology and the execution just wasn't there back in the 1980s, but all sci-fi fans seem to love this story, so I feel like I'm missing out. So I will definitely give it a second chance. Staying with the larger format. Oh, let's see if we can get this. There we go. We have Marvel Treasury Edition. DC and Marvel present Marvel Treasury Edition number 28, which features this super cool team up between Superman and Spider-Man, guest starring the Hulk and Wonder Woman also. Great stuff. Classic from my past. And really happy to pick it up. Paid probably I want to say either $40 or $50 for this. I want to say it would be in near mint condition, but it does have a little bit of writing up in this, right on the S. It has a 7-1. But other than that, this book is in pristine condition. This was definitely on my odds and ends checklist, so very, very happy to pick this up. I have the reprint that came out in, I guess, the early 2000s, I guess, or maybe the 1990s. I think it was in the 1990s. And I originally owned the little paperback edition of this, so this is the first time I've actually owned the original edition of this team up. So very happy to add this into my collection. All right, let's move this big fella out of the way. All right, moving along. She-Hulk number 25. Last issue of She-Hulk. This is an upgrade from my copy. This is like near mint. A tough black cover too. Really happy to pick it up. I actually paid $10 for it. Harley Quinn. Yes, I stand by my opinion. I did not like that movie at all. But I do really dig this cover, and I am a Harley Quinn fan. And I do like these books that were kind of like giveaways or promotional items that seem to fall by the wayside over the years. So for $8, why not? Believe it or not, when this book first came out, like the week of the movie, I want to say this was selling for around like $85, $90 online. And a week after the movie, I picked it up on eBay for $8 shipped. Zatanna number 1. Glad I picked that up before the Justice League Dark News ended up coming out. Another super cool Logan variant that I've always wanted. I always like these generational covers where they show the different eras of a character. So Wolverine being pretty much like my favorite character. Really cool Joe Quesada cover. Little trip back into the extreme 1990s. So Shadow Man number 1, along with Rye number 1, and that will finish off the premier original Valiant books that came out pre-Unity that I didn't have in my collection. I have actually never seen a copy of Rye or Shadow Man number 1 out in the wild in my area, ever, like dating back to the 1990s. So very happy to pick them up. I want to say they were both between like that $10 and $15 range. And another book that I've never seen out in the wild, Gen 13 number 1, the Victoria's Secrets homage cover. Beautiful, man. Literally beautiful. So just more proof that there was some good stuff coming out in the 90s. You just had to really look for it. Shifting gears into the Silver Age, Spectre number 8. I have to admit, that's a cover grab all day. And I've actually never owned any of the Spectre's Silver Age series. So I thought that was pretty cool. Strange Tales, number 157. Anytime I can get some cheap Steranko in my collection, I will do so. This is probably a fine minus copy, but Steranko artwork for $8, that's worth it all day. And it also features a cameo first appearance of the Living Tribunal. Sticking with a little Steranko, Strange Tales, number 167, one of his more iconic covers. Has a little bit of a spine roll and a little creasing up there, but probably, once again, fine minus condition. Can't complain for the price. And, finishing off on the Silver Age stuff, Fantastic Four, number 55, a classic. Silver Surfer versus the Thing, 4th overall appearance of the Silver Surfer. This is my second attempt of purchasing this book. Last time I purchased it earlier in the year, had a staple pop up there and multiple spine splints. This is straight up fine condition. Took like forever to get here. I ordered it from a seller in Canada. It took like maybe 20 days to get here, but it was worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait. Very happy to have that into my collection. So, while we're on the subject of the Silver Surfer, here's something that I had no clue about, apparently. So here we have the Silver Surfer, the Ultimate Cosmic Experience by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Now, this is a Fireside book. I've been a fan of the Fireside books since like childhood. I'd always thought that they were basically just the first trade paperbacks that Marvel had ever published. And for the most part, they are. All of my, I only own 2 other Fireside books, a Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, and they all feature classic reprints. But apparently, all of them were reprints except for one. This one right here, which apparently also turns out to be Marvel's first graphic novel, which up until a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago when I purchased this, I had always thought it was the death of Captain Marvel, but apparently this is it. Back in the, I guess, late 70s, early 1980s, I think it was late 70s actually, there was like they wanted to get a Silver Surfer movie together somehow, some way, but without the Fantastic Four. So they ended up getting Stan and Jack Kirby together. Jack Kirby was still bitter at Stan at the time, and they ended up collaborating on an original Silver Surfer story. And basically, it's the same story of the Silver Surfer coming to Earth for Galactus to consume Earth, basically. And he changes his mind and he goes against Galactus. And it's basically the same Fantastic Four story, or the same, almost the same plot, but without the Fantastic Four. But this also marks the last time that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby ever collaborated with one another. So here you go. You have the first Marvel graphic novel, and you have the last collaboration rather of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and it's on a Silver Surfer story. Pretty awesome. Jack Kirby allegedly just was quoted saying that he just treated this as another assignment. But let me tell you, if he just treated this as another assignment, this is some of the best Kirby artwork that you'll come across. So highly recommended. The Silver Surfer, ultimate cosmic experience. I had no idea about it. Not a cheap book, but definitely undervalued in my opinion. Okay, moving on. So, as we all know, this was the month of May, and May has official Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So I ended up picking up more of my loose Star Wars odds and ends. So I've always, anyone that watches my channel knows that I am a big fan of Star Wars, and I am also a very big fan of Alex Ross. So put them both together, and that is a win-win situation for me. So here we have Star Wars #1. Don't even ask me which variant cover this is, but this is the other Alex Ross cover that I did not have. I also finally ended up picking up the 1 in 200 Alex Ross sketch cover for Star Wars #1. And the only thing better than having an Alex Ross sketch cover to Star Wars is having two Alex Ross sketch covers to Star Wars. This is the sketch cover for the Dark Horse series that came out right before Marvel ended up retaining the rights in Disney. So very cool. Another book that has been on my list for the longest time. And for my pick of the haul, I'm going to end it with one of my all-time favorite books, Star Wars #1. Tough glare, sorry about that, but it's a 9.2 CBCS. I already have a copy that's pretty high grade, but I've always wanted a slab copy. There are a couple of copies of books that I have that I would just like to have them slabbed as well as having a raw copy, and this is one of those cases. I was actually starting to shop around for Star Wars Clone Wars, the #1, the first appearance of Ahsoka rather, and that book, as we all know, blew up. And don't get me wrong, I still want it, and I still think Ahsoka's a great character, but there are so many other Star Wars characters that I like more than Ahsoka, like, say, I don't know, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Boba Fett, and so many more. So, and that book is just so much money. I ended up picking this up for, I want to say it was like $150. So, not cheap. It's the first time I've spent over $100 for a book all year. I've been trying to avoid that, but wanted to pick it up. And once I saw it for the price, and it seemed pretty cheap, why the heck not? So, very happy to add that into the PC. So that's all I have for this month, and this will probably be my last monthly comic book haul. I've been doing, well, when I first started on YouTube about almost 4 years ago, I was doing weekly comic book hauls, and then after a while it got down to like a monthly comic book haul. And now, with the pandemic and with having over 30 boxes of comic books, my list is becoming smaller and smaller. It's not like I'm going to stop collecting, but this will probably be the end of the monthly comic book haul format, which can all change if someone sells a big Bronze Age collection at one of my LCSs. But as of right now, books have only been trickling in. So I'll definitely still have a couple of videos out every month, no matter what. But as far as comic book hauls on a monthly format, this will probably be the last one. And in my opinion, I think I went out on a pretty high note. So thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel over the years. Thank you all for the overall good mojo and support. I'd like to thank all the essential workers, as I have been while this pandemic is going on, and thank you to all the veterans, past and present, for helping me stay free because freedom rocks. So, everyone out there, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Take care. See ya.